When you are DIYing your brand, how do you know that you are doing it right? For those of you who are DIYing your brand, there are some questions that pop up along the way, right? Am I doing this right? Is this going to work? What if it is not good enough? So I want to give you some tools and tips that you can use along the way to help reassure you that you are doing it right, that it is good enough, and that it is going to work. So let's dive in and let me tell you these tools and tricks. Hello and welcome to Brand Your Passion, the show that helps you turn the thing you love the most into the thing people know and love you for. If you're an artist or maker who is ready to get more eyes on your work, more engagement in your audience, and more creativity in your life, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Holly Arnett, the brand strategist and coach for creatives, and it's time to brand your passion. So I'm going to tell you tools and tips and tricks for each step of the branding process. So we're going to talk about before you start, during the brand strategy process, the brand identity process, and the brand marketing process. So let's talk about all of those different steps. So first things first, before you start, you want to set some goals. This means that you will have something to measure success by, so that when these questions pop up, like, oh, am I doing this right? Is it going to work? Etc. Instead of worrying about that, you will know that it is, because you will have set a goal, say like, I want to increase my brand awareness, for example. I want more people to know about me. Then say you're like 3 months down the line, you can measure that and you can say, okay, I know that it is. So therefore, I know that it has worked. So you'll have set a goal and you'll know that your branding has worked. So before you start, set some goals. You also want to talk to your audience. So you want to get a baseline for where your brand is at right now. So that will help you see if the work that you do during the branding process improves things and moves things forward. So you'll know that what you're doing is the right thing and that it is working. So say right now your audience says they feel a certain type of way, then you will ask them again 3 months, 6 months down the line after you've done the work, and see what they think about it then, and see what has happened and see the difference that it makes. And then you will see whether your work has made a difference and whether it has worked. You also want to find your community. So it doesn't matter if it's one person, a few friends, or a whole group of peers. It helps to have people to talk to throughout this process. So whether it's for feedback, advice, accountability, shared experiences, or just a pep talk, you are going to be so thankful to have these people by your side throughout this process who have been through this too. So I recommend either gathering a bunch of people that you know, or some colleagues, or maybe you just have one other artist friend, or you want to join a community of artists or people doing branding, whatever it is. Find some people who have done this before or who are currently doing it, so that you can be alongside them and have people on your side who you can go to for feedback or advice or help as you are going through this process. And if you need that, quick plug that the Next Level Creative is a perfect place to do that. So I will invite you to check that out. The link is in the show notes. There's my branding lab for artists and creatives, specifically designed for artists and creatives who want to work on their brand. So if you would like to check that out, please go to the show notes and have a look at that. But let's dive into the next stage. So brand strategy, when you are ready to dive into that, some tools and tips that you can use to make sure that you are doing things right during that process. Number one is to do research. So you can do both qualitative and quantitative research that informs your strategy. So that means qualitative research is like interviews and gathering stories and talking to people. And quantitative research is getting data. So might be information about your audience or statistics, things like that, like getting the stats from like your Instagram audience, like things like that, gathering information. Rather than just guessing. That way you'll be more confident. So say like as you're going through your brand strategy and you're figuring out like, what do I know about my audience, right? Instead of guessing that information, you can go to your analytics and find out, what is my audience made up of? Like, what is their age? What is their gender makeup? Where are they from? Even like if you have a YouTube channel, it will tell you what other people they follow and check out. And like that kind of stuff is really useful information that will give you guaranteed answers or like actually informed answers rather than just guessing. So then you're doing it right. Okay. Number 2 is to listen to your gut throughout the brand strategy process, because it is a really personal and intimate process, the brand strategy process. You are asking yourself a lot of deep questions. And so you will really feel it when something resonates or lights up with you, within you. And when I'm doing brand strategy with people, I literally see it within them. I can see them perk up and their voice like lifts and gets like higher and louder and more confident, and they start smiling, and you can feel it. You can see it in yourself. You will feel it when things feel right, seem right, or when they don't. So I describe brand strategy as like the Marie Kondo process, or the life-changing magic of tidying up process, if you've heard of that. So kind of do that process as you are going through the brand strategy process. Pick up something you've just done, whether it's like an idea you had or a thought you put down, or maybe you're like writing your mission or something. Pick it up, like maybe physically, but maybe just like with your brain. Pick it up with your brain, think about it, look at it, and see if it sparks joy or sparks something in you. Some kind of like, if it moves you, if it sparks something in you, it's probably right, or it's probably on the right track. If it doesn't, maybe not. So listen to your gut within this process. And then number 3 within brand strategy is to get feedback. So working in isolation during this process is a surefire way to feel unsure. So whether it is another creative that you trust, a coach, a customer or two, or your whole audience, share parts of your strategy for feedback. So maybe you have just like worked on the part about your audience. Like maybe grab a dream client and show it to them and say like, hey, do you feel like this represents you? Like, does this feel like you? Like if you saw this, does it feel like it talks about you or not? Show them like the things you've written about your personality and say like, would you, does it resonate, like this brand, would this resonate with you? Talk to people, talk to your audience, talk to a trusted friend, talk to a coach, talk to people who you trust and see what they think, and make sure you are getting feedback as you go through the process. It's really helpful. Okay, now let's talk about brand identity. And if you want feedback, it's also a great benefit of the Next Level Creative, because not only is the community there to give you feedback and to have a look, and your target audience might be in that community, which is awesome, but also I, as a branding expert, as a brand coach, am in there giving you one-on-one custom feedback on everything that you create during the branding process. So whether you are working on your brand strategy, on your brand identity, on your marketing, whatever it is, you can share it with me and I will have a look at it and give you my expert opinion on your brand. So it's a really valuable tool and a huge part of the benefit of the Next Level Creative. So if you are worried about whether you are doing your branding right and you want a branding expert like in your back pocket, literally on your phone at the touch of a button, then you want to join the Next Level Creative so that you can share everything you're doing with me, and I will gladly have a look at everything and give you my expert opinion. So again, the link's in the show notes. Anywho, let's talk about brand identity. So number one with this one is you want to get familiar with design fundamentals. So I know that you are an amazing artist, I am guessing, an amazing creative, but there are some very specific design fundamentals that will really help you with making everything you create within your brand look just that little bit more professional, and you will feel more confident in everything you make. So I have a full article about these 8 design fundamentals, so I will link that in the show notes as well, that will teach you about all of these, but this will give you more confidence, as I said, in designing a well-constructed brand that you know is good enough, because these principles are what, like, I, as a design trained creative, like, this is what I learned, this is what every professional designer uses, is these 8 design fundamental principles, and it's what is behind every professional design, is these 8 fundamentals. So you want to learn these 8 things, and it will really help you when you get familiar with them and when you start using them in all of your designs. So definitely learn these. Number 2 is to use your brand strategy. So if you are using your brand strategy throughout this identity process, you will be doing it right. That's how you know that you are doing your brand design process right, is if you're following your brand strategy throughout it. If you are just designing willy-nilly with no thought behind it, then you're not doing it right. But if you are using your brand strategy, then you are doing what professional brand designers do. You are doing it intentionally, strategically, with a brand strategy in mind. So what you want to do at the very least is take the keywords that you decided about what your brand's personality needs to be and what it needs to not be, and use those words to guide you at every step. So say, for example, you decided that in your brand strategy process, you decided that your brand needs to be bright and bold and playful, and it needs to definitely not be cold and corporate and minimal, right? What you want to do is you want to use the keywords for what it should be to help you search for inspiration and all the stuff that you're going to put on your mood board. You also want to put those words alongside everything that you are designing. So I literally copy and paste them into my design files, and the words for what it should not be, so that as you are designing, you are constantly checking, like, okay, does this feel bold and playful and fun? Does it not feel cold and stark and corporate? Good. If it's not aligned with those, then you need to change it. You need to make sure that it is following and working towards the personality and the feeling that you decided in your brand strategy. Otherwise, it's not working. So you need to use those parts of your brand strategy in the design process, and then you will be doing it right. And you know that it's going to work to convey that feeling and that message and that personality. You can also use other parts of your brand strategy, like, your audience. So get in the mindset of your ideal person and look at your brand and say, like, would they love it as you're designing? Does this speak to that person? Yes, no, okay, I need to change things. Great, okay. Use other parts of your brand strategy too, but at the very least, use those keywords about your personality, and that will help you make sure you are designing the right thing. And last but not least, for brand identity, you can involve your audience in the process. They love this. It makes it very engaging and exciting for your audience. Everybody loves to see a rebrand. But also, because your brand needs to attract the right audience, share it with those dream people. You can get their help making decisions and make sure that they love it. so that you know that it is attracting the right people and it is going to work to attract them in the future, so that when you launch it, you know that those dream people love it, right? So find either one or a group of, or your entire audience if you want to. If you know that some of your dream people are in your entire audience, then you can share it with all of them. So involve your audience in the process. Okay, let's talk about brand growth or marketing your business and how to make sure that you are doing this right, or get some tips and tricks to help you feel like you're doing this right and that you know it's going to work. So, number one is to choose strategies that feel genuine and good to you, because the only right way, in my opinion, to grow your brand is the way that is right to you, or the way that's right for you. So choose strategies that play to your strengths and your interests and your passions. So if you are a great speaker who loves to edit video, then maybe YouTube or TikTok or something is the way to go for you. You want to, the only way that you know that it's going to be right is to choose something that's right for you. So that's what I recommend doing to ensure that, is to choose something that is the right method for you. Number two is to know your audience really, really, really well. The more that you know your audience, the better you can choose marketing strategies and platforms and content types and topics that are going to reach and resonate with them. The more informed you are, then the more confident you can be that you are doing the right things and that it's going to work. So say, for example, you know that your audience are creatives who love art and crafts, and they're spending their time on Instagram and Pinterest and TikTok, and so you know that's where they are going to be, then that's how you know that those are the platforms you need to be on. Then that's smart, right? And that is you're going to be way more confident because you know that information about your audience. So that's better than if you had no idea about who they were and where they were hanging out and what they were doing and what types of content they liked. So know your audience, know what they like, know where they're hanging out, know what magazines they read, what blogs they read, what newsletters they subscribe to, what other people they are watching. Know everything about them. The more you know, the more informed you are going to be, and the more confident you can be that what you are creating is going to work. And number three is to have an experimental approach to your marketing, because marketing is all about experimenting and trying new things, seeing how it works, seeing how it performs, iterating on that, and then trying again. It's why on TikTok, you will see people try a bunch of things, hit on something that works, and then do that for ages until it dries up. And then they'll try something else, and then they'll do that until it dries up. And we want to do things that will work, but not everything is going to work, and not straight away. So you have to be okay with that, and you have to be willing to try things and experiment until they do. So don't be disheartened if things don't work straight away, especially when it comes to marketing. Things are changing all the time. That's fine. That's just how it rolls. You just have to try things, give it a go, keep going. Don't stop, don't give up. Just keep trying, keep giving it a go, and you will see progress. So those are some tips as you work through the branding process to help you feel more confident that you are doing it right, that it is going to work, and that it is good enough. I hope that one or some or all of those are helpful for you, and that as you are going through the branding process, whether you are just starting or about to start, or you're doing the brand strategy, you're doing your brand design, you are marketing your brand, that these are helpful for you throughout that process. And as I mentioned, if you are looking for more tips like this, feedback on your work, and support as you go through the process, that's exactly what my mastermind, The Next Level Creative, is all about, and I would love to have you in there. It's a branding lab for creatives designed to help you grow your audience, attract new customers, and get brand building opportunities on repeat. So if you are interested or you want to check it out, you can sign up and have a look at thenextlevelcreative.com, and the link is in the show notes. But other than that, I hope you have a great week. As always, keep creating, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Brand Your Passion. If you enjoyed this one, it would mean the world to me if you could share it on social media and make sure to tag me at Maker and Moxie so that I can see and share it too. It really does help to get the show out there, which means that we can all work towards that Maker and Moxie vision of making the world a more creative place, one brand at a time. Thanks so much in advance, and I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, keep creating.